What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod and I'm coming at you today with a video about my most recent experience at the Anaheim Regional that took place over March 23rd. So for those of you guys who don't know, yes, I did attend the event, and yes, I did get to actually participate in the event, which I know is kind of a shock considering my track record with attending Southern California regionals. The last two I tried going to out here in Los Angeles, I was turned away and told I couldn't participate. Basically, they have about a 700 person capacity that they allow into the events, and once they reach that, they just tell everyone else, you know, sorry, you're not going to get to play. And typically they turn away about 200, 300, sometimes 400 people that made the long journey out there, and you know, the last two times I was one of those people. And it's kind of real discouraging to have that happen, to take the time off from work, make the trip out there, and be told, you know, sorry, go away, it's not going to happen. You know, not once but twice. I mean, it kind of sucks. So I was real happy that the tournament organizers have learned from this mistake of sending away, you know, 200, 300, 400 people sometimes, and allowed everyone essentially that showed up at the event to be able to enter, and it's cool. And because of this, we had the biggest regional anywhere ever, and not only did we have the biggest regional anywhere ever, but we had it on the same day as a YCS, and that's kind of remarkable. I believe we had an attendance of something like 1,070 people. At least that's the number that was floating around at the regionals when I was there. That's the one people kept saying. So I believe that's you know, at least pretty close to what the attendance was. Pretty crazy to think that a regional can get to that YCS level of attendance. So pretty cool, pretty cool. For the event itself, let me say thank you to everyone that came up to me, all my subscribers that stopped by and said hello, or talked with me for a while, or I got to duel with on the side, you know, in between rounds, or I signed stuff for, took pictures with. It's really cool to be able to meet the people that watch my videos and just talk to you guys, and it's a remarkable experience. I just wanted to say thank you very much. For those of you guys who weren't following me on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, the deck that I ultimately decided to take with me was Prophecy. I wanted to play something, I guess, a little rogue, a little not meta, and I felt like Prophecy was kind of the deck for me. It's just a little bit outside the box. It's not quite considered, you know, top tier yet, and I kind of wanted to explore that. I know pretty soon here in, you know, a month or so we're going to have Ophion to deal with, and that kind of poops all over Prophecy, and I didn't want to have to deal with that quite yet. And I know once Spellbook Judgment Day comes out, there's going to be a lot of side decking hate for the deck, a lot of Drone Lockbirds and Erratic Epidemic Viruses and all that kind of stuff that, you know, I don't want to have to deal with. And I really wanted to play the deck before there was all that, mass hate and side decking and Ophions everywhere. I wanted to kind of see what the deck can offer, and I decided ultimately to take it to the event. I really like it a lot, and I think it's a fun deck to play. So I've been playtesting the deck a lot over the last month and a half or so, trying to become real fluent with it and just get to know it really well. And over the last week, real extensively against Mermails. I have a lot of friends that were going to the regional who were going to be taking Mermail, so I got to duel against both, you know, the Undine Gen X build and the Mono Mermail a lot to really become prepared to what I was going to have to face. And I felt like really comfortable playing against Mermails after that. I felt like I had a really good side deck for it. I felt I knew what their outs were at any given situation, what to expect from them, and I felt like Mermails weren't going to give me too much of an issue because I ultimately knew what to expect out of them. And what ends up happening is, though, I don't play no Mermails at all. The whole freaking time I was there, I didn't play against one Mermail deck. It's kind of crazy. Anyhow, so the first round I end up playing against Hieratics, which is kind of cool. You never know what you're gonna play against in the first round, so I ended up playing against a guy that was playing Hieratics. The only thing that was kind of I guess interesting about that was that he had teched in Exceed Reflex or something like that, and for those of you guys who've been following my channel for quite a while, that was kind of the card I would jokingly call out as like, oh, the best card ever. I only want awesome trades for this card, you know, super high-end stuff. And then I went to go destroy as a tomb with my High Priestess, and he activated, and I was like, whoa, let me see that card, I gotta read that. And that was the only thing that kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop, but it was pretty cool. The dude was really chill, really calm, very cool to duel with, and ultimately I get the win off the first round, which was cool. Going into the second round, I played against Fire Kings. Not too big of an issue playing against Fire Kings. Every time he would go to bring out his boss monster, I would just fade it off the board, and you could tell he was kind of getting a little salty, or I guess just not really salty, but discouraged the fact that he couldn't get no momentum going, to no recursion off of his boss monster, because every time he would just bring it out, I'd be like, nah, remove that guy, I don't want to deal with that. And you know, ultimately that's their win condition, and they couldn't get it on the field and get it going, and he really couldn't do much anything else. So afterwards, I sat there and talked with him for a while, and we had another duel just off on the side after the game, so it was cool. Round 3, I ended up playing against Macro Rabbit, which is one of the decks I don't really like to play against when I'm playing Prophecy, because you know, Macro kind of eliminates all my spell books that I want to go to the graveyard, so I can't get nothing going with Fate, I can't get nothing going with Masters or with the Tower or anything like that, and High Priestess has nothing to remove with to use her effect, so it kind of it can kind of suck sometimes. Basically what I ended up doing though to get the win off of this one was I just kind of summoned High Priestess and then brought out Effect Veiler, went to Scrap, and we just started blowing the crap out of stuff that way, and he just couldn't get no traction going after that. So going into round 4, I felt pretty good because I was X and O, and I ended up playing against Windups, which kind of sucked because, you know, he Shockmastered me and called spells, and by the end of the Shockmaster loop I had like 7 spells in my hand and like 1 on the field, and I couldn't do anything. It was kind of discouraging. That I just couldn't draw into anything but spells. Normally I wouldn't mind drawing all these spells, like, yeah, spells, but then at that moment, that was like the worst thing to see. It's just a handful of that greenish blue color, and I'm like, man, that's freaking whack. Ultimately in round 2 though, I lose that one too. I think I made a misplay or a misread, I guess, really at the end. It kind of cost me. So I was X and 1 going into round 5. Still felt pretty good. I ended up playing against Chaos Dragons. I was like, dang, I'm playing against like all kinds of crabs. Nothing I thought I was going to be playing against the whole time. He got me down to 100 life points in the first round, and I was able to fight my way back from that and ultimately get the win. Because he had 8,000, I had 100, and I thought he had it in the bag the first round, and I was still able to pull through. So you never know in Yu-Gi-Oh! Unfortunately though, rounds 2 and 3 he was able to capture and just overwhelmed the board with you know, Red Eyes and Pulsar and stuff, and just kept the loop going. I just couldn't get rid of him. So he ended up getting that. So I was X and 2 going into round 6, and I felt like if I didn't get the win in round 6, I was probably just going to drop, because it was already starting to get to round, you know, 8 or so. And ultimately, I ended up playing against a Monster Mash deck. It was like that Machine of Chaos one that won the last, it was like a variation of that deck that won the last LA Regional. And it was kind of interesting. I just couldn't get around. Every turn, he was just bringing out more fortresses, and he always had a discard for it. And I just couldn't, too many fortresses, I just couldn't get around it. I didn't have the answers for it. And ultimately I went 3-3, and then I just dropped. So ultimately I had a really great experience at the event. Got to meet so many of my subscribers, and that was really awesome. Everybody that I got to duel against, all my opponents were really chill, really nice people. I chit-chatted with them through the whole duels, and they were just, it was a really good, pleasant experience, and kind of cool to see that there were so many people just happy to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And so I guess that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys would like to see the Prophecy deck that I used in like a deck list video, I will feature it. Just let me know down in the comment section below. And also let me know about your experiences at your most recent regionals. It's always cool to hear good, fascinating little stories. And I guess that's about it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.